Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with the second game on the tournament, the event, Warhammer 40k, Warhammer 40,000. And if you want to know more about the first game and about the army list, you can go to my previous video. I will put the link in the description below, and also I will you can click on the box at the bottom and you will access to the game one. This is the second game. I will not go in depth into my list. Yeah, let's just start the game. So I'm playing against Blood Angels this time. So let's just start with the deployment. So in that mission, we have to hold the R3 objective, 6 objectives in the middle. We use milestone objective to know which objective we have to hold. These objectives are moving randomly 1d6 every turn, and you can capture the objective like a relic. So if one of your units is arriving to one of these objectives, he can carry this objective with them. This is a special rule from the scenario of this tournament. So when you have this objective under your control, if you have to score this point, you score it automatically. And the deployment is random, so we divide our deployment zone in 3 zones, and we roll a dice. And then depending, we roll a dice. 1, 2 is on the left, 3, 4 in the middle, 5, 6 in the right side. So and here we can decide at the beginning if the formation comes all together, so all the formation is deploying in the same zone, or if the formation is coming, or if you want to divide this formation by units, and then the formation will be scattered over the board. So in my case, I decided to have all the formations together. All the formations that compose the detachment are coming together, and my opponent also decided to do the same. So he's using a list of Blood Angels. So the Blood Angels have 3 Land Riders, making the formation of 3 Land Riders, and in each Land Rider he has a unit of Terminators. So 2 are Tactical Terminators and 1 are Assault Terminators, and then with the Assault Terminators that goes in a Land Rider Redeemer, there is also a Librarian. A part of this, he has 1 Shooting Dreadnought and 1 Furioso Dreadnought. So yeah, the Furioso Dreadnought is coming in drop pod. He had the initiative, so he decided to start deploying. He rolled, and as you can see, all the 3 Land Riders appear in the same quadrant, and in one of the corners of the battlefield, and the Dreadnought appears in the opposite side of the battleboard. So in my case, the Tempestus just appear in my left flank, and all the rest of my army appear in the middle. So this way I put also the Aegis defense line. I was able to deploy depending. You were able to link it to one of your formations, so I linked my Aegis defense line to the main platoon, and this way you see the Aegis defense line is in the middle of my battlefield as well. So I think it was a good start. I'm more happy with the deployment on this battle than what I did in the first turn. I have all my assets concentrated there. In the middle, I don't think he has a lot of templates. The only thing that I have to be very careful is with this Land Rider Redeemer, because this Land Rider Redeemer can really be a pain, a real pain. If he starts using the in my troops that are very concentrated there in the middle of the board, they can do a big damage. I also decided this time to keep my command squad at the very back of my deployment, just to use them to give orders. And you see there the 3 Land Riders with the Terminators inside. These are pictures from a different angle, and as you can see, the motors, the bikes are not in my deployment zone. Is because when these pictures were taken, I already did the scout movement, so I just moved the motors ahead. I want to hold the objective in that side. I give up my terrain at this moment on the side where there is the 3 Land Riders. I don't think that I have enough shooting to deal with all these 3 Land Riders. My main objective in this mission is just to distract the Land Riders and try to hold as many objectives as I can with my units. So I want to really go for the objectives I have on my right flank, score as many points as I can, and yeah, and just try to avoid to engage with the dreadnoughts, the Terminators and the Land Riders. Here we see, okay, so I will try to keep as much as I can the distance with these Land Riders, and see if he is forced to disembark to try to hold some of the objective, and when he's disembarking try to shoot at the Terminators. Against these Land Riders, if they come very close to my lines, then I will start using the mont'ka guns, try to damage them. And here is another picture. So I have to say the Land Riders don't get damage from the table except if they explode. So they are almost working like a super heavy vehicle, so they ignore all the other damages, except if you hit them with the weapons, and then they get immobilized. And we go to turn 1 of Astra Militarum because I managed to seize initiative, and I think this was great. In the first battle, as you remember, I lost the initiative. In that, I lost the initiative as well, but at least I managed to seize later on. So we go into turn 1 for the Astra Militarum, and I just move in my right flank with the Space Marines. These are the only unit that I have on my right flank, and the objective is to what I want to do with them is to hold the objective that I have in that side of the battlefield and to score these points. The bikes hold the objective that I will score the 2 objectives that I have it, so I have to score objective 2, that was one of the bikes. I just hold the other objective in case it's coming later, and I have missions to kill some vehicles. So yeah, I move as you can see. I also move ahead with my Militarum Tempestus. Just to create a little bit threat if they don't go for them. I want to use them as the first shock against the Land Riders. I know that they cannot do a lot of things against them, but it's just a distraction that I want to drop there to avoid that they can go easily into my main units, into my core units in the middle of the table, and try to distract them as much as I can and score on the other side of the board. Here another overview, and you can see that the Librarian just disembarked from the tank, and the main purpose was to put his rocket on the tank and to capture objective number 6 that was in that area. So and then in that side I did all my shooting, all the shooting that I can on the shooting dreadnought, and I just scratched 2 hull points, and I immobilize him, and he cannot. He have to snap shooting next turn. So not a lot of damage from my side. I only give mental fortitude to the bikes to make them fearless, just in case they receive some damage or shooting, and ready to go to the turn 1 of the Blood Angels. So we go into the turn 1 for the Blood Angels. So remember that I was holding 2 objectives at this point, and I scored some points because of the objectives I have to hold. The dog pod came, and they just land next to my Razorback, and the Furioso just disembarked to shoot the Flamer and the Melta on my Psyker. And then on the other side, he just moved ahead with the Land Riders, not very aggressively. He disembarked with the Terminators to be able to hold one of the objectives with the Terminators. I'm quite happy with this movement at the end, not very aggressive from his side, quite conservative, and I think balancing if it makes sense for him to get closer or not. And yeah, and this is just the overview of during his movement. Here we see the Terminators holding one of the objectives. I think he had to score 1 point because he was holding one of the objectives he needs. Here is the again. I just keep the distance. I wanted to keep the distance with my Militarum Tempestus. I don't remember he tried to assault, but at the end he was not able to assault on the Militarum. You see another view of the three land riders moving ahead. To be fair, I don't have a lot of weapons that can damage this, apart of some mont'ka guns that I have on my backward. So I wanted to keep them safe from the shooting in order to use it when they are needed. Not too scared about the Terminators. I know they can do a lot of damage, but I think I can deal with them just by saturation of fire. And in that side, the Furioso shoot everything on the Librarian. Luckily that I had a conversion field and I managed to save the shooting against the mont'ka. So in that way I was quite happy, and the Librarian just survived to the shooting. And we go into the turn 2 for the Astra Militarum. And in the turn 2 of the Astra Militarum, I decide to move my unit of Space Marines with plasma gun to the back of the Furioso, and as you can see in the picture, I managed to destroy him. But the rest of the army really in that side flew off a lot in the shooting, and I didn't manage to kill the other Dreadnought. There is only one hull point remaining. I shoot with all the gun weapons, 7 shots of gun weapons. I didn't manage to roll a single 6. I shot 3 last cannons, no damage as well. I shot 3 missile launchers, no damage. So quite disappointed about the shooting on the Dreadnought. On the other side, on the other side in the previous turn, he shot everything on my what you see, the stormtroopers, the Militarum Tempestus that are on open field. So I decided to put them to ground. But then in my turn, I decide to I just use the order to put them up again. Okay, so they were able to shoot at full capacity. I did some shooting on the Terminators, and I think at the end I managed to kill 2 of the Terminators just with the hot shot last guns, and with the last guns, and with the plasma and all the things that I had in range. I also tried to use the ordnance on the vehicles and Terminators, but I didn't do any damage. So in reality, in that turn, I just killed a couple of Terminators. I killed the Furioso that was threatening my flank. And I'm holding 3 objectives at this moment, and I think I scored 3 points at the end. So I was ahead on points, and I was ahead on kill points. And in that mission, elite units and fast and heavy support units were giving 2 additional 2 kill points instead of 1. So I was doing 2 kill points each time I was killing 1 enemy unit. So this is another overview. Here is on the other side, just after killing the Furioso. A little bit disappointed that I didn't kill the other Dreadnought. I think I should have killed him faster, but it was not the case. And in the other side, just now waiting to see what is going to happen. So we go into the turn 2 of the Blood Angels to see if they decide to move aggressively to my lines, or what is the movement he's deciding to do. So, and again, as you can see, he moved quite conservative, and he just moved a little bit. He moved the Terminators to try to assault my Militarum Tempestus. He also moved the Dreadnought, but not too aggressively, and then he disembarked the rest of the units. So he disembarked one of the units of Terminators to try to assault my bikes that are on the other side. So as you can see, he's trying to spread the units, and he disembarked another unit of Terminators to hold the objectives that were between the Land Riders. As I say, you have to disembark to be able to hold the objective. The shooting was on my bikes and on my Militarum Tempestus. So this is after at the end of his turn. As you can see, the shooting did a lot of damage, again on the side where I have the Militarum Tempestus, and he failed assaulting me. And then on the other side, he declared an assault on my bikes. I do Overwatch, and then on the Overwatch I killed 4 Terminators. So I was quite lucky there. I think the grab weapon, I was very lucky. I did a lot of hits with the grab weapons, and I just killed 4 Terminators in his assault phase. So this was quite devastating for him. Yeah, and that side, as I said, he declared a charge. The Overwatch did not damage, but he didn't reach me in the south neither. So yeah, this was good. Yeah, this was the situation at the end of the turn 2, when the Blood Angels were still playing quite conservative. I was going at that point ahead on score points and kill points. Here in the flank, yeah, he did some shooting, and the bikes are holding no 2 objectives. You can hold up to 2 objectives in each unit. Here I just lost 1 Space Marine in that side. He shoot this drop that has the missile launcher shooting, He shoot the missile on these Space Marines, and he killed 1 of them. So we go to the turn 3 for the Astra Militarum. Yeah, here is the dice marking the turn 3. You see here also the Terminators holding 1 of the objectives, and they will go for the second one. So this turn, what I decided to do is, in the flank with the Land Riders, I decided to be conservative, to be out of range of easy assaults. And then on the other flank, I decided to see if with the grab weapons I can at least immobilize or damage 1 of the Land Riders and get this Land Rider out of the game. So this is why I moved the bikes close to this Land Rider. I also moved the Sentinels to have a good line of shot against the Terminator, the Sergeant Terminator, to score a point, because I had the mission that I will score a victory point if I kill 1 enemy character, and the easiest enemy character to kill was this Terminator. So I also concentrate all my shooting on the Terminators on the left flank, the one with the Librarian, and after all the shooting I managed to kill the Sergeant and another Terminator. The grab weapons did nothing on the Land Rider, so yeah, I didn't manage to roll a single 6 for second time consecutive, so I fell previous time and turn against the what it's called the Dreadnought, and no, I failed against the Land Rider. So this was my situation. I tried to also spread a little bit more my units in my deployment zone as I'm moving the Sentinels out of the deployment zone, as I see that the Land Riders are not coming to this side of the board, and I just moving ahead, try to support the bikes, and then in the next turn, if I see that the bikes are under risk, I will move them back and to be able to keep holding the objective. I also move ahead with the guys with the demolition bombs. They are very far, so I try to move them next to this building in the middle to see if I can use this building as a cover to drop the demolition bombs from there. Yeah, and then as you can see, I also moved the Librarian and the unit of Marines with plasma guns are inside of the Razorback, and I just moved him to see if I can finally shut down this Dreadnought, but no 6 was a score there. The missile launchers didn't score a 6 to hit there, so yeah, I was not able to take out the last hull point from this Dreadnought. But so far I was quite happy. I was controlling, I was scoring I think 3 points this time, holding objective, and yeah, quite happy with how was going on. So we go to the turn 3 for the Blood Angels. So Blood Angels were still there, they just shuffle a little bit around to hold the objective, and the Librarian moved into the vehicle. As you can see, he put some units in the vehicles to avoid that they can be shot down easily, and he moved ahead with the So he put the Librarian in one of the Land Riders, and he put the other unit, the sub unit, in the Green Land Rider. So to take them out of the shooting arc of my infantry. He just moved to face the bikes. He moved ahead with the 2 Land Riders, and just see if he can assault with the Terminators. I think again he had tried to assault my bikes with the Terminators, and the Glock weapons did the job again and killing some of these Terminators. Yeah, this was a little bit conservative again. Yeah, he was not very aggressive with the Land Riders. I was expecting him to be more aggressive with the Redeemer, to be fair, but he's just facing all the bikes, trying to shoot them down, and he didn't do a lot of damage on them. So he killed 3 of the bikes. I think now the bikes are quite damaged. I still have all the weapons operative, so next turn my objective will be to save these bikes, move them back, and use the sentinels to protect the bikes. So this was at the end of the turn. 3, and at the end, he didn't kill any of my units yet, so the battle was going quite well for me. So this was an overview of the battlefield. And we go into the turn 4, and now it was going very fast. He was a little bit demoralized because he was not able to kill my units, and he was not scoring too many points. So as you can see, I forgot to make pictures of my turn 4, but I just move ahead as the bikes. I just back up the bikes as much as I can, and then I use ordnance, and the ordnance just fall on top of the Terminators and on top of the Land Riders, and I managed to penetrate 2 Land Riders with 1 ordnance blast. So the ordnance blast really fall in the middle of all of his formation and doing damage on the Land Riders. The glove weapons immobilized 1 of the Land Riders, and then he came with the green one, tried to shoot down my bikes. At this time I will jink to avoid that this is going to be damaged. The bikes are going to be killed. I want to hold these 2 objectives. I keep my guys with the demolition bomb just next there. If the Land Riders decide to come, I will try to see if I can do any damage, although the demolition bombs are not that strong. But he was just, as you can see, reshuffling, not coming to me. I was going ahead in victory points. On the other flank, you see there at the bottom of the picture in the flank, I start moving with my flamers because I want to do line breaker. So I was thinking on the line breaker, so if I move and run, and they will be able to reach his deployment zone. Of course, all these units that you see there in the terrain, they were killed, is the kill. And then on the other side I did the same, so I move. I want to, at the end, to kill this Vendor definitely, so I just move the Razorback, and I just disembark from the Razorback the unit with the plasmas to be able to shoot at the Land Rider at short range with the plasmas, and I managed, at this time I managed to finally kill the Dreadnought with the shooting Dreadnought that have the two-lane cannon and the missile launcher. So I just here back up. I don't want to engage at this moment with the Terminator on the Land Riders, and yeah, and now the glove weapons start immobilizing the Land Riders. Yeah, here is all the at the end of the turn 4 how was looking like, and this was coming very positive with my side. And there at the bottom you cannot see, there's a mess of dice and everything, but my units were going for line breaker in that side. So what I wanted to do is to go for line breaker in 2 sides in order that he cannot neutralize both of the sides at the same time. He has to focus in to neutralize one of them. So this is why I split I decided to go for line breaker in both sides of the board. Now overview at the end of the turn 4. And we go into the turn 5. Yeah, in my turn 5, I even moved back the bikes. I don't think I have any picture at the end, or I have very little pictures of that. My bikes, I just move it back out of range and try to keep them safe. I just ran with the unit that killed the Dreadnought. I just ran with them behind his lines. And I was moving the Militarum Tempestus behind the lines on the other side to do line breaker, and the rest just keep stationary and try to do some random shooting. So I was not expecting to kill any of his Land Riders, to be fair, in the turn. I just use the grab weapons and I immobilize the green one, so I immobilize 2 of the land riders with the grab weapons. And then the other one, the one that was not immobilized, the gray land rider with the Redeemer, just move, disembark the assault unit, and the assault unit just kill some of my Militarum Tempestus with flamers, and they run away. But as they cannot overrun the Terminators, I just saved the unit. So at the end was a very strong victory for the Astra Militarum. Was not a lot of death in that battle. He have all the points concentrated in these land riders with Terminators. I think if he have moved more aggressively to me, the battle have been more bloody. But I didn't want to engage because the distance was in my favor. So for me, there was not any need to engage in combat, just to keep the distance, keep shooting, try to do as much damage as I can do from the distance, and then try to not to engage too close. If we have come closer, I don't know who had win at the end. I think the Redeemer was a big threat, but the rest of I was not very concerned about the other 2 land riders. I think the 2 last cannons with I don't think they do a lot of damage. And the Terminators, if I put my blob unit against them and I accumulate enough saturation, I think I can deal with them. As you see, when I start doing saturation in one of the assault Terminators, I managed to reduce this unit to 2 only, and the other unit was completely destroyed. So even at that distance, where I didn't have all my efficiency in shooting, I managed to kill almost half of the Terminators. So I was not concerned about the Terminators. The only thing that I was concerned about from his army was the land rider Redeemer. If he had been very aggressive with this land rider, it had been a difficult moment for me, and it will force me to try to accumulate all the melta weapons, melta bombs, and all this type of shooting on these land riders. But at the end, that didn't happen, so he preferred to keep the distance. I guess he was scared of the melta weapons that I have in my lines, and was quite a good victory for the Astra Militarum. So after a big defeat on the first game, I went to a crushing victory on the second game, what was quite good. So I compensated one game with the other, and I'm ready to go for game 3 on the same tournament. So, and if you want to support me, I have you can be patron of my channel. You can support me, and all the income that I receive, I will dedicate it to the channel to improve. I will not do a special content for the patron, to be open with you, but I will really appreciate if you want to support me, especially for the tutorials and for the battle reports. I think these are more important, and product reviews, because if you want me to do more product reviews of more different products and other companies, the only way I can do it is if I have some economical support from that. Up to now, I will keep I'm quite happy how the channel is going, and if you want just to support my channel patron, let you know that in the description below you can have the link. And that's all for now. So as usual, thanks a lot for watching. Please like if you like it, comment, and let me know what do you think about this battle. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.